okay so I can record to car. Off we go.
Cool. Okay. So, welcome everyone to the Roots and Resilience skill sharing evening. It's lovely to see you all here. So, yeah, we've got some really nice sessions this evening. We've got our permaculture puppet show, so using puppets to teach children about permaculture. We've got a lovely project from Mallorca about permaculture and youth. Also another project from London, collaboration again with permaculture and youth. Then we're going to speak a bit about the vegan nutrition calculator, and then we're going to have a nice discussion about fermentation. So Rakesh will lead that, and if you guys have got experiments that you're getting into or questions, feel free also to jump in. So yeah, let's start with a quick check-in. We're a little bit into the time. So yeah, maybe just to go around and briefly introduce yourself, and then we'll go into the first session. So looking at my screen, we can start with Zoe, followed by Shilpa.
Hi everyone, I'm Zoe. I'm going to do some tabletop puppets this evening and show you some of my ridiculously large supply of puppet stuff. I am a primary school teacher with junior age children. I am going to be doing the children in permaculture practitioners PDC in January, and yeah, really loving all this new group of people I'm getting to meet. So thanks everyone.
Thank you, Zoe. Lovely. So Shilpa, followed by Andrea.
Yeah, hello all. I'm Shilpa. I live in the Netherlands. I joined Rakesh vegan permaculture and sociocracy class, and this is my first roots and resilience session. Very excited to learn. Yeah, that's about it. Thanks.
Thanks, Shilpa. So Andrea, followed by Rakesh.
Yeah, I'm Andrea from Germany, Berlin, and I'm also joining Rakesh's online course, and we don't have any sessions at the moment, but it's a good idea to get some more information also for the designing, which we want to do, and I hope to learn something new. Yeah.
Nice, thank you. So Rakesh, followed by Sadie.
Well, I'm Rakesh. I think most people know me. Most people here, I guess, have already done various courses with me. So yeah, I'm great. I'm just yes, we did the last training course on Sunday, so now I'm kind of just catching up with admin, and I'm kind of free for the next few weeks to just work on my garden. And we've got 3-4 forest gardens happening close by, which we're all starting this year. So lots of really exciting stuff. That's me.
Cool, thanks Rakesh. So Sadie, followed by Paula.
Hi, I'm Sadie. I run an organization called the Hip Hop Academy, which I'll talk about a bit in the talking about the youth project. I live in Kent in the UK. I'm from Bermuda. Yeah, and I study permaculture like last year. Yeah.
Cool, thanks Sadie. So Paula, followed by Molly.
Hi, yeah, I'm Paula. Also one of the ones who's just joined Rakesh's permaculture, vegan and sociocracy course. Yeah, really pleased to be here. I had completely forgotten it was on until like 10 minutes ago, and then it popped up on my calendar. So thank you for the email that said put it in your calendar, because otherwise I wouldn't be here. Yeah, just really looking forward to hearing about, I think, the puppets and fermentation, two things I'm really looking forward to hearing about. So yeah, that's it. Thanks.
Lovely. Thanks, Paula. So Molly, followed by Eddie.
Yeah, so I'm Mali from Netherlands, currently in the other side of the world in Argentina. And I'm also part of a student in the permaculture course of Rakesh at the moment, and the sociocracy course. And I've been working a lot with youth in my previous job. So and with sustainability. So really excited to hear more about youth and permaculture, how to connect them. And fermentation, yeah, definitely also on my bucket list of learning more about it. So yeah, thanks. Excited.
Nice, thanks, Mali. So Eddie, followed by Alethea.
Hi, hello.
Hey,
I've been having some problems with the connection, so I'm sorry if I don't hear everything perfectly, and that's why I have my camera off, but I'm here. My name is Eddie. I'm from Mallorca, and I help in a permaculture association here called Permaculture Mediterránea, and we also taking care of a project called Jóvenes en Permacultura, Youth in Permaculture here in Mallorca. It all started with Rakesh on one of the trips, Erasmus trip of Youth in Permaculture, and I'm also experimenting with fermentation, so I'm happy to be here and share and learn from all of you. So thank you.
Nice, thanks, Eddie. So Alethea, followed by Ruth. Sorry if I've mispronounced your name.
Hello, Alethea here. I'm sorry. Yes, that's okay. I don't have camera on my laptop, so you can't see me. But I've done a couple of courses with Rakesh, Children in Permaculture, and a few outdoor classroom courses. I work at across 2 special needs schools and have been really enthused about introducing permaculture more to the kids, because we've gone back to school after the first lockdown on a recovery curriculum, and the principles we've tried to address with our children actually align with permaculture principles. So I do horticulture with them, and yeah, I wondered how to bring it into school, and it happens that you just have to say you're doing it and nobody opposes you, and it happens.
Yay, cool. Yeah, use this niche to your advantage, slip in some permaculture. That's cool. Thank you. So Ruth, followed by Kai.
Hi, yeah, I'm also on Rakesh's course at the moment. Yeah, I feel like I'm winding down for Christmas a bit, but I wanted to squeeze in another little bit of permaculture before taking a complete break. Yeah, I work in a community garden and in Peckham, down the road from me, and I garden other people's gardens as well. Yeah, I have started fermenting. I couldn't believe I'd done it properly. It just came out really well, so I'm interested to hear more.
Lovely, thank you. So Kai, followed by Jill.
Yeah, hi. Sorry for being late. I was busy, I think like Paula, baking and preparing for Christmas. So yeah, I'm also on Rakesh's ongoing course at the moment. I'm a little break, and same as Paula, I think, or Ruth, I don't remember now. I'm winding down for Christmas, but I just wanted to squeeze this last gathering in, and I'm very interested in the fermentation or fermenting part. So I'll try to be with you all the time, but I may have to close my camera and pop away for a few seconds.
Lovely, thank you, Kai. So Jill, followed by Alex. Jill, you look like you're on a beautiful mountaintop there.
Well, that's the back behind me is better than the background I have behind me is the small farm I have. In Argyll, North Argyll in Scotland. Have a small farm. We're developing it with permaculture and regenerative farming practices. Have hosted a number of introductory permaculture courses haven't done my PDC yet, but very interested in how to apply all the ethics and ideas to life here, and also sharing the space I have in the future.
Lovely, thank you, Jill. So Alex, followed by Marta. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. I'm Alex.
Quick check-in, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm currently doing the permaculture diploma, and I've also done couple of courses with Rakesh recently this year. Yeah, I'm doing some land-based designs and also trying to design a better diet for my family. Doing a bit of fermenting and trying to do a very small forest garden design, which is slowly coming on. And I'm currently in Wales. Well, that's not where I'm from Ringwood, near Bournemouth in the UK. I'm currently an illegal immigrant in Wales.
One of the escapees.
This is actually where I met you for the first time, so I still think of you as, from Mahuncliffe. We used to do reggae sessions in Mahuncliffe, or no, Aberystwyth, while Alex was living in Mahuncliffe. So yeah, used to do regular monthly sessions down there. Great fun.
Yeah, that's where I am right now, actually.
Yeah. So near Tammy then.
Nice.
Cool.
Cool. So Marta.
Everyone, my name is Marta. I am originally from Bolivia, up in the mountains in South America, but I have been living here for several years in Texas, South Texas, between the border of US and Mexico. And we're just living in a piece of land that we're trying to reforest. And I'm taking a class with Rakesh, and I'm taking permaculture now. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Happy to be here with y'all.
Lovely, thank you. So, people keep adding. We're going a little bit over time, so maybe just, the last people to say hello, and then we'll go into the first session. Mandy, hi. Would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm sorry.
Welcome.
Hi. Yes, I'm Mandy. I'm in Mallorca. I'm with Permacultura Mediterránea and Jóvenes en Permacultura, sort of on the outside.
Lovely. It's great to meet you. It's great you could join us.
Nice to meet
you. Okay, and I'm Sophie. I'm part of Roots in Permaculture, teaching sometimes with Rakesh. I'm living in Bulgaria in a small intentional off-grid community. We're reforesting, we're working with youth, we're working with trees, we're working with ourselves. Also feeling this nice kind of quiet, calm winter energy coming on. We've just been in a beautiful cave in the Rhodopes yesterday, celebrating the solstice, and taking some time to slow down. So it's really lovely to see you all here. And let's go into the first session. So Zoe, over to you.
Do you share me, Sophie, or do I just appear bigger now that I'm talking?
You should be bigger now that you're talking, depending on the view. So,
yeah, I have to keep wiggling it around because otherwise I sort of have to lie on the floor to show you things. I'm going to be using my tabletop puppets. So this is Mrs. Moss, usually with Waldorf Steiner tabletop puppets. They don't have eyes or mouths, but I quite like them to have just a dot. So the idea is that they don't show emotions, that you can then put the emotions that you want onto them. So if they were the proper thing, they would have blank faces, but I do like a dot. So they literally start, you can get different skin coloured fabric, and you do that over a calico ball. I use wool inside, and then tube, cardboard tube. Put your head in, and then I usually put a pebble at the bottom and sew round. So my Mother Earth one has quite a plain felt body, and then dry felted hair onto the top of her. I have various different ones so that I can sort of dress them to do different stories. So I've got lots and lots of mattresses, which are for, I might, if there's a fire, I might have to just abandon ship for a sec whilst I put it out. So lots and lots of mattresses, and then there's a green pea. So you can do Princess and the Pea. I've got all the billy goats for doing billy goat's gruff, and I use those sort of seasonally. So for example, I'd probably be doing billy goat's gruff in spring, summertime, and I might be doing something more like, where's my other one? I've got the Elves and the Shoemaker, which we would do as like a Christmas time story. But for introducing permaculture, it's really good to do just a very short story to get them used to the idea that it doesn't have to be, you know, a traditional tale, and you can introduce ideas. So I'm just going to do a sort of short one today, just so you, I mean, you literally can make up anything. In the parent and toddler group that I helped with, we had Mr. and Mrs. Moss. Mr. Moss has slightly gone walkabouts. He's somewhere in the house, but I don't know where. So you've got Mrs. Moss today. That is not, they're not doing a double act. And each session, it would be a very, very short story where Mr. and Mrs. Moss would literally walk out of the door. They would go and explore something and find something in the garden. And then they would go back into the house. So that would be the start and the end. And it sort of got them used to being told the story. And what was really interesting was, because your eyes are down on the story and the scene, they're drawn into the scene, and you don't, you know, I've done this with a class of 32, and you don't need to say anything. Their eyes are down, they're completely transfixed in the story. So you don't have that horrible, you know, people saying, listen, stop doing that. That can happen sometimes in schools. So I'm just going to move you. Hang on a sec. So. It's quite hard to see on here because I'm not on the big screen. I think that...
Zoe, I think if you do speaker view, you might be on gallery view. Can you see everyone in little boxes across your screen?
Yes, along the top.
Yes, if you go to the top right and you click, it should say gallery view, and you should be able to click speaker view, and then whoever's speaking will be the big screen.
Yeah. Lovely, thank you.
Cool.
So, no, I've still got you, Sophie. Okay, brilliant, thank you. Right, so we always start with a little song, and I'll just do the session now as I would do if it was with the children. Fire fairies come to us. Fire fairies come to us, and the fire fairies come, bringing golden gifts from the sun. It was a winter's early morning, and Mrs. Moss was tucked up in her bed, sleeping soundly. And as she slept, she dreamt about Mother Earth. Mother Earth was deep down under the earth. She was busy because it was winter time. She called all of the seed babies and seed children to her. And when they arrived, she tucked them in to their warm underground bed. Ready to sleep away the winter deep in the ground. And as she tucked them in, she stirred her pot of broth. And as she stirred, she sang, cradle cosily, cradle deep, in the cold earth, baby seeds sleep. Lights we shine on you, lights divine. In the cold earth, sparkle and shine. Although it was the winter solstice morning, at 7:30, the cockerel gave his cry, and Mrs. Moss stirred in her bed. She stretched and she looked out at the cold winter, and she decided she would go out to her sit spot and see what was happening in the garden. She went to the door and looked out. Everywhere was covered in a white layer. She took a deep breath through her nose. She smelled the pine. She smelled the olive leaves that stayed green all through the winter to remind her of the spring still coming. She crunched down the grass, past the chickens who were busy pecking. But this morning, Mrs. Moss did not want the busyness of the chickens. She wanted the quiet of the solstice morning, so she carried on walking down to the clearing in her sit spot. She sat and she listened. She sipped her tea. It was hot, but the air was cold. She looked about as she drank. She listened. She closed her eyes so that she wasn't looking, but was listening. And she thought about Mother Earth. And how they were both looking after this piece of earth. She finished her tea and walked slowly back up the path, looking for the signs of the root babies coming through. She knew there wouldn't be any yet, but she knew where they would come. She looked forward to that day, but until then, she would enjoy this quiet Christmas time. Fire fairies come to us. Fire fairies come to us, and the fire fairies come, bringing golden gifts from the sun.
Thank you, Zoe.
So I wouldn't necessarily make it that long if I was doing it with very young children, and if I was doing it with the older ones. So my class are 8, 9, 10, and they would like this because it isn't a fairy story. They like it because it's practical, and Mrs. Moss is actually doing something that they can do. So you could introduce that if you were going to try a sit spot with them. You could introduce Mrs. Moss doing it first. I've done it if I'm planting seeds, that she might do them first, or if we were doing for example, a solstice spiral, I might introduce Mrs. Moss doing it first before they did it in person. So I don't know if anybody has any questions they want to ask.
I don't have a question, but I really want to tell you I love it. Really, it was great. Yeah. I nearly get some tears in my eyes. It's so beautiful, and children could be very lucky to see this. Yeah.
Thank you.
Great, really great job. Cool. Thank you.
What kind of school do you work in, Zoe?
It's just a state primary school. This term, to be fair, I haven't managed to do this with them, but I'm hoping, so next term I'm teaching science. I'm gonna sneak it in the back door.
Yeah, lovely. It reminds me of things I've seen in Steiner schools, this kind of way of working.
Yeah. So the first time that I saw it was a Steiner inspired kindergarten, and then we did that on a course, and so I just carried on sort of making the different bits. I'm slightly shrunk on my stuff because my dog got at the bag, and Goldilocks just looked like she'd been in some sort of horrendous accident. So don't have Goldilocks anymore. And the other thing is the moths. So I have very long-lasting plastic bags because the moths they love the felt and the wool. In fact, they love everything in these bags. So I tend to seal them. Although when I came to use it, get them out today, I did find lots of little seed pods. So I think I might need to do another bit of a tidy.
Yeah, it's a lovely technique, as you mentioned, like the idea of planting the seeds. So like introducing the concepts first. I really like that when I listen to talk about the children in permaculture methodology, and Rakesh uses that a lot as well. And I think that's a really nice way of, yeah, like preparing people. So yeah, thank you so much for that, Zoe. That was lovely. So now we're going to move on to the next session, which is Ed and Mandy. I'm not sure who's leading this, but I'll leave you guys to take over as you wish.
So in case you missed it, Mandy, Ed was saying his internet's not so great, hence not having his video on. So I don't know if maybe you might want to, yeah, step in as in if he can't.
Sure.
So
Eddie, you're muted, just so you know that. I don't know if he's on, but so thanks for inviting us. I'm very honored to be part of a small group here called Jóvenes en Permacultura, which is youth in permaculture, which is inspired by, actually going way back, Rakesh. Because a long time ago, Rakesh and I worked together with a bunch of young people and started an idea, which was youth in permaculture, that came out of a permaculture convergence in Italy, where several youth came with us from PermaMed, an organization that I belong to that is on the island of Mallorca, to go to the convergence, which that year was in northern Italy. And we were so inspired by children in permaculture that we wanted to just jump in and jump on board. But they were quite busy organizing that, and the age group was up to 13. And we were working with older emerging adults. And Eddie, I can see you've unmuted yourself, so maybe you want to try and see if your mic works?
Yes, hello. Sorry.
Cool. So Eddie's somebody that I've been lucky to work with from that day till now, and where he's taken that idea is really exciting with a group of young people. But I was just telling them a little bit about how we started YIP, and now we're doing sort of a local version. Maybe you want to talk about that. Let me know if you need help with your internet. I can step in, but I think it'd be great if you want to talk a little bit how it all started for you.
Vale, perdón. Ok, que hablé sobre cómo empezó Jeep, te refieres, ¿no? Es que no he oído muy bien.
Sí, perdón, si te va bien.
Yes, and after we came from the youth exchange in Italy and also in the mainland of Spain, we were super motivated, and we saw all the other groups like Italy, Macedonia.
Yeah, it's breaking up. Can you guys hear Eddie?
Sorry?
I wasn't sure if everyone could hear you. I don't know if it's my internet or yours.
Yeah, no, I think his connection's
Rakesh? Yeah. Let us know if you can't hear us. Maybe there could be a hand signal, and then.
At the moment, we're not hearing anything from you, Eddie.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to maybe pick up?
Sorry.
How about now?
Okay, you can hear me now?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, basically, we wanted to keep that energy going, and we got the opportunity to work in a place called Sombarrina. It's an organic farm where Mandy is living at the moment. And we wanted to place young people could experiment and basically have fun in nature and learn about nature together. So that's what we have. We are also taking care of Julio Canto circle of permaculture, which is a demonstration site where it's divided in the 5 zones of permaculture. So we go from the house, going through the gardens, different fruit trees, into the food forest. Things, and also we have the other zone where we get together and try to do some gardening, some action, and some social with the group. So we are learning to do this, learn to work as a team with kind of no hierarchies, nobody on top saying telling everybody what to do. So we try to listen to everybody, and well, for now we're having a lot of fun, and it's being great. And Mandy is helping us a lot also when we need any help, especially with the social aspect, because it's where we see the most challenges, how to gestionar, how to manage a group of young people with kind of no rules. We wanted to start with no rules, but that was quite difficult. So with the less rules of regulation as possible, but also moving forward and being productive. So yeah, I was able to get it. Mandy?
Yeah, it's been really fun to watch the group blossom because they instead of rules, they kind of created these group agreements, and it's really just been, what did you say, Eddie? It's been sort of trial and error, but I've been really impressed with the leadership that Eddie's shown, because it's been always passing. People come with questions or they want to do something, and he passes the ball back to them very, very, very nicely. And they've also had to limit the numbers because we're on COVID. So the demand, I mean, the word got out, and a lot of young people wanted to come. And they have a WhatsApp group and a Facebook page, which I just put up there. And they also have a web page that you can see a link from the Facebook page. And it was like, we wanted so much to be able to take in all the people that were coming, and friends of friends and friends and friends. And Alba, his friend, one of his friends, there's like 3 core members that are kind of organizing things and taking the lead of being here every week that I've noticed. And they just had to stop it at 30 or 40 people, didn't you, Eddie? And then finally the rules came down that we can only have so many people. It's been very challenging with the COVID. But they've kept it going. Yeah. There hasn't been a Wednesday they've missed in the year. And we've had school and workshops, right, Eddie? Can you talk? It's too bad about the internet. It's challenging. But it's
to create a space where people could forget about everything that's happening and connect with themselves and with nature, but also being with who want to learn the same thing. So that's a challenge, doing that without getting banned.
Yeah, it's almost like it's like an oasis, right? People come and they just kind of leave everything behind, and they just get their hands in the soil, making compost. Eddie's a really pro compost and biochar expert, and also really good at fermentation. He's teaching me about that. And so they skill share, kind of what you guys are doing, but they do it there in person once a week because they have a demo site that they can use.
So we've got about 5 minutes left. Perhaps people have some questions, so either Eddie or Mandy could answer. Yeah, do people have any specific questions? Just to kind of recap, the project is basically youths who are basically teaching themselves and each other about permaculture. And, it's completely self-led, self-organized, potentially, 30, 40, 50, 60, who knows how many youths coming together on the island to skill each other. I mean, wow, what an amazing... Yeah, so who's got some questions for either Mandy or Eddie?
I have a question, actually. No one else has got one burning. Yeah, Yeah, for me, it's really interesting, like kind of how you got the word out and how people became interested, like thinking about the culture there. Is like permaculture like popular, or like how did young people decide like that was something they wanted to do and hear about your project?
Sure.
Eddie, you want to give that a try?
Here, it's kind of like something new. But people... Yes, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, but permaculture here, it's kind of like something new, but people are starting to really hear about it and understand also. And especially now with everything that's happening, a lot of people look into ways to be more self-sustainable and also just learn about things they like. A lot of people realize that they like knowing where the food comes from, knowing how to build a house. So they saw these answers in permaculture. And there's a lot of small groups in Mallorca in permaculture. So it's a very small island, and people, like the word gets out very quickly between the people. You know, a lot of times to put advertisements out there. The thing also, here we were already a community of people who do this here, and a lot of us know each other. So when we wanted to start doing this group, we talked like a group maybe of 7 friends. We were 7 friends who really knew we wanted to get this going and like comprometerse. How would you say comprometerse? Get compromised with this. So from there, each of us started calling different friends who we knew that also would compromise and kind of put the work into creating something. And we knew that meant kind of being there at least one time a week. Once a week, that's what we thought the minimum was. So we just started going, we started with 7 people. And then when we went to the next place in Sombarrina, we were already like 16 people. So yes, it was just talking with friends, and some friends told others, and these told others, and after this, we were like, okay, so where do we go? What do we learn now? So we started asking the group, what do you want to learn? And for example, people wanted to do an introduction of permaculture, or people wanted to do a course on how to eat healthier, or they wanted to do a course. They wanted to understand how to improve soil. So we do different workshops. Either we teach them, or we call somebody from the group who knows how to teach, who knows about the subject teach it, or we call somebody from outside, and the group gets to learn. And also we can also invite people from outside of the group who want to learn about that subject, and they can also pay for the workshop and help the economy, and that way we get the workshop going and the teacher paid, which was also important, how to do this. So this is how we've been doing it, and just by doing this, a lot of people is asking every week if they can come, especially now that one of the girls out with the social network, and it's a lot of people coming from the social network. So just by doing what we like to do, people saw it, and there's more people who want to come. So now that's also a challenge, how to manage who comes into the group, or if they live far away, should they create another group, or how to do it. Sorry if I went too long, Mandy. You want to say
Amazing.
Something?
Okay, we've got 1 minute left before we take a break. Is there any other questions out there? No. Okay, so my question is, when are you going to invite me back again? When am I coming back to Mallorca? And when are you going to organise the reggae party? Even more important.
I think, and also Ruth has a question afterwards as well. Did you have Ruth?
Yeah, just quickly. What's the funding like in Mallorca? Is there any government help for that sort of thing? or charities?
Mandy, do you want to answer that?
I think, Eddie, you want to answer that? Want to talk about the solidarity funding that you got?
Okay, I didn't understand. Yes, we have to get some money now from the European Union, and it's some funding is going out for projects guided by young people that have to do with solidarity, sustainability, ecological, and environmental solutions.
Is this the European Solidarity
Yes, we did an Erasmus Solidarity grant, and these guys wrote it and they got it. It was for 4,500.
Sorry?
Sorry, Eddie. Sorry, I think I stepped on you. Go ahead, you talk. It's the internet, there's a delay.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, but
so
I think we got the
we
picture.
got Erasmus fund.
Yeah,
but I want to say something, one little thing.
Go for it.
We don't have that money. We never got that money. It's sitting somewhere in Madrid. For the last year, all the funding has come from volunteer work. There isn't been an influx of money and people all pitching in little workshops that Eddie's been doing. So funding has not been what's needed.
Brilliant. So it's all self-organized, proper permaculture size, proper permaculture style. Amazing. Wonderful. So I think we're just over by a couple of minutes, which is cool.
I'm sorry, I got online. I came back.
So thanks very much, Eddie, for presenting your, and for Mandy for presenting Youth in Permaculture in Mallorca. Beautiful.
Yeah,
project.
thank you so much.
So yeah, I suggest we take a break there. If we can try and come back on time. So the idea is to come back in about 7 minutes time. So we start again at the top of the hour. So just a 7-minute break. That's all cool. And who have we got up after that? I think it's Sadie, is that right?
Yeah, we've got Sadie and yourself speaking about the Youth PDC and your backgrounds. Yeah.
Cool. I suspect it will mainly be Sadie, and I'll just chip in as and when he invites me to. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, wonderful. So we'll see you very soon. Have fun.